guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? It won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by spirit to share a bit of a perspective um, on us, on how we relate to our pain, right? How we deal with our pain. What kind of programming have we been, um, what kind of programming as well have we been put under when it comes to interpreting and dealing with our pain and relating to our pain and connecting to what our idea of pain is, and how, how we actually relate or tie our pain into what, you know, um, into what we believe our struggles in our lives have been, right? The system has so cleverly found a way to intervene in our understanding and translation and experience, and how we also express our hurt and our pain, and what we believe overcoming our hurt and our pain should look like and feel like, and that, we should find pride in strapping our struggles and our pain to our back, because now we have something that we supposedly would like to believe. The story we tell over and over and over again, reliving an experience over and over and over again, identifying with the struggle and with the pain that we went through, or are going through, and then still, being programmed to find pride in being able to mold the perception of our outside world in a way that they identify, that they identify us through our struggles and through our pain. These are the things that, they strategically made sure that we never ever let go of. Have us under the illusion of us having overcome things, of us having released things, and whatever it might be. But we need to strap it to your back, right? This is what I've overcome. This is my struggle. This is my story, right? And I'm not trying to minimize anybody's struggle or anybody's story. But at some point, I feel that we need to also recognize that you don't want to still be the person who, you need to be able to release the person that you were when you went through some sort of pain, when you went through a certain struggle. Strapping a struggle and your pain and an old story, an old narrative of you to your back doesn't allow you to fully move into a new embodiment of who you are actually supposed to be today. No matter how big, how difficult, how small, how painful, what the experience was in the past, the higher perspective is that it was a stepping stone to get us to what and who we are today. And by strapping struggles, pain, and old narratives that we, and experiences that we've translated, that we've gone through in our past, as struggle and as painful and as hurt and as betrayal and as this and that, and we, decide to stay stuck in an old moment in time, stay stuck in an old story, stay stuck in an old creation that you created or that you co-created with somebody else. You rob yourself in your present moment of being able to acknowledge what and who you are today, you rob yourself of actually being able to, uplift your perspective and actually, you know, take a different perspective to your struggle and not find pride in being able to strap it to your back. Not find pride in being able to strap your pain to yourself and see it as an everlasting medal of who you want the world to see you as today. What you've been through. This person cheated on me. This person betrayed me. This and that and that and that. I'll never, there's that pride we've been programmed to get into, where we say, I'll never let anybody do that to me again. Okay, but why will you never let anybody do that to you again? What have you learned? What have you learned that has you in the position of deciding you'll never let anybody do that to you again? Are you in that place still because you're hurt? Because, the thought of the experience, the thought of the person still triggers you in some way that, it opens up a wound? Or are you in that space of, I'll never let that happen to me again because I've learned the lesson, because I'm a new person today, and I'm in a space where I'm able to recognize what led me into a certain experience, what drove me into having to experience a struggle, what caused me hurt, what caused me pain. I'm a new person today, and I'm able to recognize, because I've learned the lesson, I'm in a higher perspective. But the system has, they intervene in the beginning of our lives, programming us to only focus on details, programming us, programming us in how to recognize and deal with and respond and express ourselves when we are faced with things that are, how to say, that are given as examples to us as pain. So we learn it on the TV, and whatever we learn through the way our parents have displayed their reactions and their ways of dealing with pain and struggle, which they too have had programmed to them in some form, way, shape, or fashion from either their parents or something at some point in their lives they've absorbed through the system. It all gets passed down. It's been cleverly and strategically designed, to help keep us in a lower vibration, to help keep us once again focusing only on the details of an emotion, the details of an experience, and keeping all of us completely clueless and blind to what the higher perspectives and bigger realities are in life, and what our reason for experiencing certain things, experiencing pain, going through certain struggles could actually be. No, the system intervenes at a very early stage in our lives, and they tell us how to respond and deal with pain, how to recognize pain, how to recognize sadness, how to, they tell us how to deal with it, how to react to it. They take control of all of that at a very early stage, and in many areas of our lives make sure that it's, that we go through, that it's repeated over and over, whether it's within our relationships where the people that we engage with are also replaying what they've been trained, how to act and react to certain experiences that cause or create pain. There's a lot going on, and like I've said, it's multi-layered and it's multi-dimensional. And as long as we stay focused on the details of what's happened to us, stay focused on the detail of the pain that we've been through, stay focused on the detail of the struggle, stay focused in having it all meshed and intertwined and woven into making sure that we also find, whether we admit it or don't admit it, find some sort of pride and acknowledgement in being in the position of a victim. As long as I'm in pain, I'm still a victim to something or to someone or to an experience or a struggle I've had, or an attachment being severed, a loss of some kind, right? And there is a lot invested into making sure that as a human populace and collective, we don't awaken and ascend to a point out of our pain, transcend ourselves and our perspectives and our pain, to understand the higher realities, spiritually in life, and the other things that also play a role in our existence. Now, 2 videos back, I spoke about, the disembodied realm and, the different layers of density and dimension. And you can maybe go a couple videos back, and you can maybe get just like a little bit of a broad idea of what I'm talking about right now. Now, we come into this world to balance things out. Again, depending on your school of thought, depending on whether you believe in reincarnation or not, whether you have a religious mind or more, you've moved over your lifetime more into having a spiritual mind, it will also depend, all of that will depend on how you translate what I'm talking about right now. Now, I'll say it again, we're not just born and die, okay? We come into this lifetime to balance certain things out. And pain and struggle and all of these things are a result of the certain imbalances that we have within ourselves, as well as the certain extremities that we exist in, right? All of these imbalances and the different layers of extremities within, with duality and whatever polarities that we experience, wherever we exist within these things, they have a direct impact. They are, they are the reason for what we create and find ourselves experiencing within our physical world as pain or as struggle or whatever experiences you might go through that bring on some form of trauma or blockages within, within the way you handle yourself and the way you connect with yourself and the way you translate the world. Now, we were born here to learn the lessons. Part of the reason why we're born here is to learn the lessons and bring ourselves into balance. We're supposed to not have ourselves in the position of being a victim, right? But actually look at these things we go through from a detached perspective, from a higher perspective, not always making it about the experience in the next person, but what is it about me? What decisions do I keep making? What cycles do I find myself in? What things within myself do I need to overcome that keep moving me into certain experiences and lessons in my life, that keep drawing certain people to me? And then we can take it another level higher. Okay, nothing we go through within this lifetime is unplanned. There's, on a divine level, this is again another one of those higher perspective things that I'll try and dedicate an entire video to. On a divine level, there's a divine intelligence that exists within our universe, right? A divine order. Nothing is just there. There's an order and there's a reason for everything that goes on. And even every single experience, different things that come into your life, different people that come into your life, there's a divine time, there's a divine order for all of it. Your lifetime is like a syllabus. It's like a lesson that you need to get through, right? And before you come in, there are different souls that you engage with, different souls you've shared other lifetimes with, before this one, had different experiences with, and you work with one another, because that's how the universe works, right? It's give and take. It's a balance. So we help one another. Everyone that comes into your life at a specific moment, at a specific time, to provide you a specific experience. On a soul level, that people generally are not conscious about, there is something higher and bigger happening to bring balance and order to collective energies. Okay? So there's us, and then there's our souls that are also part of a bigger collective energy. And that collective energy, you exist within a specific vibration as well, and frequency within that collective energy. So you will also share certain experiences collectively with other people who exist on the same vibration and frequency as you. But again, we're getting into things that are very deep, right? So just to offer a different perspective when you are dealing with your pain, hopefully this can help you kind of process it, and the people that you experience things with, and your experiences from a more detached perspective, right? From a perspective of, how are all these things actually happening for me? How are these things in my reality, these experiences I go through, these struggles that I find myself in, no matter how traumatic, whatever frequency and energy that you're in, you draw these experiences to you to help you balance out certain things, to help you clear out certain blockages within your energetic field and system, to help you bring your frequency and your vibration and whatever imbalances you have into balance, so that you can align to your path and you can move forward, right? I hope we're still together and that it's making sense. So try and learn to just use your pain and your lessons and use your pain, your experiences, and whatever traumatic things that might happen, as well as your struggles. Use them as a mirror to help you become enlightened to self. Try to detach and not make it about the next person. I know it's easier said than done, especially because many are still stuck in the programming and how the system has tethered people into their program of dealing with pain and translating their experiences as from the perspective of being a victim, and then layering it again with with fear and exclusion, and wanting to feel like you belong, needing to be acknowledged, wanting attention. All of these things, it's a multi-dimensional thing, many things happening at the same time, right? All of these things impact the way you also hold on to experiences, hold on to pain, the way you move through your struggles. But take your life as a kind of obstacle course to master yourself and master the energy and the experiences that you go through. Energy that you feel, experience, and how those, and also how your energy that you exist in is pulling certain experiences into your life. It might sound, again, woo-woo, But even when someone robs you, you have had a contract with that soul on some higher level before you came into this world for them to rob you, because it was going to provide you a lesson and an experience, and maybe a lesson that you needed to learn, so that something within your future that you have planned to engage with or encounter, or a person in your future that you need to engage with or encounter or deal with in some way, you're prepared. That experience helped you prepare for it. But no, we get attached to the experience. We get attached to the pain because we're programmed. We want to stay in the energy of being the victim, right? So recognize as well that the people who have come into your life, the lovers who have hurt you, okay, the ones who have cheated on you, the ones who have treated you like a piece of shit, they're all there to be a mirror for you to learn how to transcend yourself and your energy. That lover who treats you like a piece of shit treats you like a piece of shit because at the moment you're existing in an energy that, that will allow that will stand for that. So how you transcend it is you recognize, hey, I'm being treated like a piece of shit. I need to now transcend my energy that allows that to happen and become somebody who actually finds the confidence and, stands up and says, no, I'm not going to be treated this way. I'm not going to be spoken to this way. You're not going to abuse me. That's you transcending yourself, transcending an energy that, and not that another energy, transcending an energy that attracts an energy like that to you. You fit together, right? If you're in an energy that says I'm a victim, that says I can be bullied and people abuse me and, this always happens to me, you're going to then have call in energies who fit that. Okay, well, then that's the experience you want and you need to transcend it. But that very same person you've made a soul contract with to come into your life and be that fucking asshole, so that you can get to the point of having enough, get to the point of recognizing where you actually need to change and stick up for yourself, recognize where you're misaligned and lacking in your self-worth, and move yourself into an energy that says, no, this isn't my life. This isn't life, and this is a piece of shit, and really this guy, this woman, they don't actually bring anything but stress to me. Now you're learning the lesson, you're enlightening yourself, you're awakening, you're shifting your energy, you're lifting your perspective, you're embodying a new energy, and once you've been through that process, now you're the person who actually says to somebody who behaves that way and who's in that energy, fuck you, I'm leaving, and your emotions are irrelevant to me in my life. Goodbye. Right? So I hope what I've said has made sense and has resonated. And yeah, don't strap your pain, don't strap your struggles to your back. Don't strap your old narratives to your back. Don't rob yourself of a new beginning. Don't rob yourself of living a reality that isn't tethered and identified by what you've come from. Because what you've come from is a stepping stone. What you've come from is something you were supposed to learn. Is something that was meant to help you learn and transcend yourself. Okay? Even if somebody assaults you in some kind of way, all these things that happen, I know it may sound crazy, but nothing is chance. People don't show up by chance. The person who's supposed to make you happy, the person who's supposed to be a part of your next chapter of life, to bring you a happier and a more grounded experience. Your life was divinely designed that way, so that you will also be able to recognize that person. You'd be able to translate and receive that person, because in your older energy, you might have repelled that person. Your older energy might not have been able to attract a person like that in, or for a person like that to even mesh well with your energy. Everything happens in divine timing. There's divine order and divine design to every single life, including yours. And there is always higher guidance and higher energies that are at play, a divine intelligence, right? Disembodied realm, and there's our disembodied realm, and then there's also the energetic, the, 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 the disembodied realm where not people, but where soul and spirit have and consciousness can take form, right? And then there's higher realms where it's energy. Again, something else that I'll again talk about in another video, right? And all of these things are playing a role. All of these things are existing with us at the same time and assisting so that things work out the way they need to. And then other souls and spirits and energies in our disembodied realm at the right time also will choose and align to us to come through into this realm and continue their lessons forward. There's a big network of things happening in different dimensions and different layers. And the system doesn't want us to understand these things, because that means that their tactics and their ways, the way they program us to deal with pain, the way they program us to deal with struggle, the way they program us to translate and integrate and hang on to, and whatever it is, it'll dissolve, because we'll be living in a world and in a reality and in a consciousness and awareness that doesn't even acknowledge that stuff becomes too low vibrational. That stuff it doesn't make sense. Okay, so let me stop there. I will talk about this again in the future, because this is another one I can just go on and on and on and on. Anyway, I'm gonna pull a card today from the Trust Your Vibes oracle cards, okay, and see by Sonia Chuket and see what spirit has to support our conversation, or give anybody who's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction. Okay, let's see. Spirit, may I please have one card? Claim your boundaries. So start becoming more aware and realize that how do I put what I want to say? Realize that you can rearrange the way things have been. You can rearrange the way you perceive things. Okay, you can rearrange the way you perceive things, and you can actually also develop boundaries against things in the system. We need to have boundaries against the things in the system that we've been programmed into. Okay? Have boundaries also with your pain. Don't just let things, be aware of yourself. Be aware. Pay attention to, when you're going through pain. Where on the spectrum of the pain are you? Don't just experience things and latch onto them with no rhyme or reason, and then have it just be something that bleeds out into the world, because you haven't actually been taught how to deal with these things. You're only programmed to latch onto them. and to identify with them and to make them your story, and then let time and the fact that you just maybe might not be in the experience anymore be what then dictates the way your life unfolds. And then you still find yourself going through cycles with things and people and going through the same experiences. Let's see what the book has to say on Claim Your Boundaries, number 24. This is another one of those things when you argue with people. Anyway, it's another video. Have people been arguing with you lately, or challenging you wherever you express an opinion? Are you being ignored or dismissed? Do you feel overly defensive? Are you suffering from the case of being too nice? If the answer is yes, don't worry. On an energetic level, your aura is simply too wide open, leaving you vulnerable to unwanted psychic influences. It's time to claim your boundaries, strengthen your aura, and put the go away sign in your window. It's not mean or unkind. It's simply honest and healthy. Become more aware of your aura and your boundaries. Other people are aware of them and will take advantage if you let them. You're just an energetic pushover, and it's time for you to stop. This is your sole task to master, and it gets easier with practice. Practice saying no, go away, leave me alone, leave me in peace, both verbally and silently, and enjoy it. Your aura is your protective shield, and it grows as you gain self-respect. As I spoke about in my other videos as well, you build the energetic field of the of the energy and behavior that you embody. Practice all day long. You'll soon feel the difference and love it, right? So have your boundaries, and transcend yourself. Your boundaries are also there. They're the tools that you have to help you transcend yourself and remold yourself into your newer energies and newer states of being. Okay? Anyway, I hope this has resonated and I haven't rambled too much. Yeah, if it has, do like, share, and subscribe, family. And I'll see you in the next video, okay?